Hello everybody, welcome to Dude with a Fork. My name is Ken. On today's episode of Ken Cook Stuff, actually cooking ahead. What I am making is garlic bread that you can put in your freezer. Normally I get the, I think most people buy like the store brand or the Kohl's brand of garlic bread, and I looked online. That's anywhere from $2.69 to $5 for a 16 ounce loaf. Walmart does have their Great Value brand for like $2.69, but that's still a lot. So I'm going to show you how to do this on the cheap, really easily, with stuff you already got. So let's get started. All right, so it's Sunday morning. I usually don't do a lot of my grocery shopping at Walmart, but they do have some things that you can't find anyplace else. One of the things I always do is hit the bakery clearance section, and what we have here is a loaf of what do they call this? French bread, fresh baked in store. It's 14 ounce loaf. I saved 38 cents. This is only 90 cents, and that's because the date is September 10th. This was made on September 7th, which was Thursday, I believe. Best if used by today. So they put this on clearance, and I mean, it's not terribly expensive to begin with, but if you can get it on clearance, that's even better. So I'm going to make this into garlic bread that I'm going to stick in my freezer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this in half, because I'm actually going to cut this in fourths before I put it in the freezer, because I'm not going to use a whole loaf of garlic bread like this. So I'm going to start with half of it, which is roughly right about there. See if I can avoid shaking the table too much. And we're just going to put this guy back in here for now. And you can do the twist tie thing, but you can also just... Some people don't like that, but that's just the way it goes. So I'm just going to take my, notice I have a serrated bread knife here from Cuisinart. I got these on sale ages ago at Best Buy, of all places. So I'm just going to cut down the middle here. And this is a pretty chunky loaf. This is actually a lot of bread for 90 cents. And of course, I'm not cutting it as carefully as I should. But that's okay. It's all going to work out the same. So some of these little crumbly bits, because I'm not cutting carefully. There you go. If you don't cut carefully, you can just take all those little bits off and eat them. So I have here some Countryside Creamery light butter. And we're actually going to go through quite a bit of this, because this is a huge loaf. But, you know, instead of $5 or $4, I'm actually going to get this for about probably $1.50. Now notice I'm kind of just, this is supposed to be spreadable butter, but it's been in the fridge and I didn't take it out. So I'm just kind of, just kind of moving it around with the fork a little bit. Or sorry, with the knife. My gosh, I cannot speak. I'm so excited to be making garlic bread, because I love garlic bread. And as you can put down as much butter as you want. You might want a lot of butter in there, and I think a lot of butter is a good thing when it comes to garlic bread. The one thing I'm not putting in here is any kind of cheese, and you certainly could do that. So I am putting, how much butter is this? I want to make sure I get it right up to the edge. There we go. And see where I cut it and it didn't look nice and neat? Crumbs? Eat! This is not like super high quality bread, but it's quite tasty. I love bread. I love carbs, and when you combine carbs with garlic and butter, oh my gosh, I am a very happy camper. So we're just going to put a ton of butter on here. Again, you would not eat this entire loaf all at one sitting, all on your lonesome. Although, now that I think about it, nothing to stop me from trying that. You know, I love a challenge. So, all right, I'm getting a little impatient here. But that looks like a good amount of butter on there. So now what we're going to do is move that out of the way. And keep in mind, this is just half of this. What I'm going to do is, I have my granulated California garlic that I bought at Costco. This is the Kirkland brand. And it does have, don't use that side. We want this side. So we are going to just go over this and sprinkle this with garlic powder. And if you want to add some Italian seasoning on here, or maybe just basil or garlic, you certainly could. Like I said, you could put cheese, you could put mozzarella, you could put Parmesan, you could even be fancy and use Parmigiano Reggiano. This looks good. You could spread it out a little bit if you wanted to make it more even. You could certainly, if you were better prepared than I was, mix the butter and the garlic ahead of time, but you don't have to. I'm just going to try to spread that out a little bit more evenly. There. That looks good. Now, what we're going to do is just put these two sides together. And I think that's the bottom. Yep, that's the top. And I'm going to cut this in half again. I'll set that over there. Going to get some heavy-duty foil. Yeah. And if I use a lot of foil here, sorry for the crinkly sound. That's okay, because I don't want this to get freezer burnt. And also, I can just throw this in the oven. I don't have to take it out or anything. So yeah, that's it. There we go. I'm going to throw that in the freezer. I might put a label on here, but that says I did this today. But to be honest with you, if I know I've got garlic bread in the freezer, it's going to go pretty quickly. So that's it. I'm going to wrap this guy up in a little bit of foil and probably eat him today, because I made something else that I will show you the recipe for later. So see you in a bit. All right, so you ask, well, what are you going to have garlic bread with? And my solution today, I made homemade SpaghettiOs with meatballs. And the meatballs are homemade, the SpaghettiOs are homemade. Because I loved, when I was a kid, I loved SpaghettiOs with meatballs. But I wanted to do a slightly more grown-up version of them, and I think I came up with a winner. And when I say slightly more grown-up, I do mean slightly more grown-up, but they are really, really good. So here's our garlic bread. I've had this in the toaster oven. You just open it up, you take it out of the foil, you open it up, put it on a baking tray, buttered side up for about 10 minutes at 450. And I like the end here where it gets really crunchy. So I'm just gonna dip in there and get some of that sauce on there. That is so nice and garlicky. It goes so well with these SpaghettiOs. I'll give you the recipe for these. The hard part, and it's not really that difficult, is making the meatballs. Just because they're miniature meatballs, so you can see, relative to the size of that spoon, they're not really big, just like you get out of the can. So it's a little bit of work, but it's really easy. So, those are really good meatballs, and they're super tender. But this garlic bread, my goodness, is that good. Very buttery, very garlicky. I love carbs. So this hits the spot. Now you might say, well, shouldn't you crush up real garlic and mix it with the butter? And you could do that. But the granulated garlic works just as well. It works better if you mix it with the butter a little bit ahead of time, but I was in a hurry. The stuff I have in the freezer will actually be a lot better, but so good, so easy, and anywhere from a third to a fourth of the price of garlic bread that you buy in the store. Oh my gosh. Well, one thing I did not do when I was a kid, when I was eating SpaghettiOs with meatballs and garlic bread, is drink beer. But since I have to be a grown-up and pay taxes, I'm going to drink beer with my SpaghettiOs. So yeah, that's it. Oh my gosh, so good. Wow. So I'm going to stop filming so I can finish eating this, because this is dinner. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Thank you so much for watching. And that's it. Thank you so much, folks, for watching. If you like this video, please go ahead and like. If you have any questions or thoughts, please go ahead and comment. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I've gotten a bunch of new subscribers lately. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff in the works that I'd love to show you. So this is really super easy to make. It's super inexpensive. You don't have to stick with the store brand stuff all the time. Just want to show you how to save a little bit of money and still enjoy life. So thank you so much for watching. Again, this is Ken, Dude with a Fork. Power to the proletariat. We'll see you next time.